Now, this is some foolishness right here. This is why I could never buy into Bernie Sanders 100%. Because fool me once, shame on you. Fool me again, shame on me. Well, I'm your host, Robert Bob TV Brown. Welcome to another episode of the Raw Report. What it do, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you send this at. We're going to talk about Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders and the so-called coalition they got to defeat Trump. Yeah. These two guys. Now, not a Trump fan, don't like Trump, don't want him reelected. But I also don't want Joe Biden to be elected for president either. But somebody got to be elected. And I know you're saying that somebody got to be elected. Somebody got to be elected. Yeah, but I ain't going to be the one to put them in office because whatever either one of them do in office, I will not be responsible for. You cannot hold a person who don't vote, and I know you try, but the person who don't vote for either or candidate, you can't hold them responsible for voting for the mess either or candidate has going on for them. You only can hold responsibility those who actually put in a vote for them because your vote is your measure of support. A no vote is not a measure of support. I know you guys going around saying a no vote for Joe is a vote for Trump or a no vote for Trump is a vote for Joe. You could take that dumb, fake, psychobabble, Jedi mind trick to get a vote and take it and stick it up your behind because it's not true. In order to win votes, you have to get a tally of votes. You have to count votes, which means somebody got to go in there and put in a vote. So you can't vote the person who don't put in the vote. You got a person to vote the person who actually either put in the vote or the person who were running for office who never did whatever he could to secure that vote. It is the person running for office responsibility to gain support, to get somebody vote, to earn somebody vote. It's not the voter job. The voter owes you no vote. It's like a person that's a door-to-door salesman. You can sell Kirby. If the Kirby agent don't come to my door and sell me on Kirby, I'm not buying a Kirby vacuum cleaner. Well, you got to get some kind of vacuum cleaner. No, I don't. I got hardwood floors. You're going to have to convince me that a Kirby can clean my hardwood floors. But it's your job to convince me. It is not my job to just give you my money and just you just knock on the door and say, I'm from Kirby. Give me your money. I'll give you a vacuum. It doesn't work like that. But people think that way about politics. I do not vote for pathological lying, bigot, racist, with rape allegations. Joe Biden or Donald Trump, because that's what you get. I don't fall for this, my bigot is better than your bigot bullcrap. Any black person going out there pushing that, you done lost your doggone mind. A bigot don't deserve to be in office, tell you the truth. And black people shouldn't be trying to put a bigot in office, whether they're red or blue, Democrat or Republican. Now, recently, Bernie Sanders doing whatever he can to get his supporters to vote for Joe Biden. First of all, he punked out and quit too quick. Man, let me tell you something. As long as COVID-19 around or as long as anything around, if I'm running for office and my opponent is in the 70s, I don't care if I'm in the 70s. I'm not stepping down until you get the nomination. Now, Joe Biden finally got over the hump for the numbers to be the presumptive nominee. He is the actual nominee based on the delegate numbers. But Bernie gave that up too easy. First of all, he didn't fight. He did not fight. Stop. He did not fight. He didn't go toe for Joe. He didn't call Joe out or none of that stuff. He let his friendship get in the way of competition. Let me tell you something. When it came to Jordan and Magic Johnson, it was about winning. It wasn't friendships at the end of the day. I'm about winning this game. I'm about to get my people. I need to get my check. I need to get these boys over. I need to get another ring. I like Magic Johnson, but he ain't on my team. And Bernie got his teams confused because he's more team them than team people. Tell me he's not. The proof is in his pudding right now. Look where he's at right now. Doing whatever he can to cape for Joe. But let's go ahead and look at this. So these two came together. Say Biden Sanders released progressive unity platform for Democratic Party. Biden Sanders released progressive unity platform for Democratic Party. I don't know what it is about Bernie Sanders and his platform trying to change the Democratic platform. Well, as long as I can change the Democratic platform. What happened to that last time? Hillary Clinton told you to take that 2016 platform and stick it up your behind. You did all that work. Nina Turner, whoever, Nominky Kant, and even Cornel West did all that hard work to get you to make the Democratic Party the most progressive platform, and look at it, you're back at it again. Which means the first time wasn't successful. Well, we had to go with what we can get. Man, when you got the people backing you, you got more than go with what you can get. You made this about you. But let me go. The final documents. It's not everything progressive had hoped for, but acknowledged many of the priorities while giving as little ammunition as possible to the president and GOP. Here's the bottom line. You Democrats keep thinking progressives are your team. They're not your team. Most progressives are independent. They don't like neither one of you. I'm one of them. I can't stand neither one of you son of a bees. A bunch of crooked GOP, DNC, same old thing to me. Bunch of racist people ain't doing nothing for the people who put them in office. Joe Biden and his progressive rival for the Democratic nomination, Senator Bernie Sanders, offered a joint vision for how a Biden administration would run the country, including proposals to right racist wrongs, reverse climate change, and address inequities the document author says have hurt both the nation and its people. The lengthy document was penned by the Biden-Sanders Unity Task Force. Biden-Sanders Unity Task Force. See, this is the part that really get me. Bernie Sanders, you're only good enough to be part of his Unity Task Force, but you're not good enough to be his vice president. Got to be a black woman who offers no platform, who offers no tangible, who have nothing to run on. The person who he should be picking, he's scared of, and that's Nina Turner, because she's too much like Bernie, maybe a little bit better than Bernie. She gonna pick Kamala Harris, another cop, another prosecutor? Oh, we gonna pick her, the one who pushed and aided the police and abetted the police in doing the wrong things that they do when she was the prosecutor in California and the DA in California and the attorney general. That's who you gonna pick as your VP? Oh, you gonna pick Amy Klobuchar? She dropped out. Yeah, but she dropped out, but he could pick her and she'll still take the nomination. Oh, it's gonna be Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams doing whatever she can to kiss Joe Biden butt to become president. No, it ain't gonna be her. It ain't gonna be Elizabeth Warren. It's probably gonna be another white woman. Hell, it might be Hillary Clinton. That day happened. Joe better wear a bulletproof bodysuit. Because she want to be president bad. And Joe probably do 2 years and hand over the nomination to Hillary Clinton. I wouldn't doubt it. We got the Biden-Sanders Unity Task Force designed to get all of Sanders supporters, which are mostly independents, to join the Democratic Party in getting out Trump. And you think that is enough to get Sanders supporters? Well, first of all, most Sanders supporters didn't support Sanders. They supported the platform that Sanders pushed. And they're willing to vote for anybody that pushed that platform. That platform is king, not Bernie Sanders. And y'all got to understand, I'm sitting here weighing my food. I was told my food having left the place yet. So I'm trying to give Postmate some credit. You're good enough to be have this Bernie Sanders Unity Task Force all designed to come up with progressive policies where the Democratic Party can unify, thinking most independents are Democrats when most independents are not. Your goal is to unify independents, Democrats, and some Republican around a progressive agenda, and I guess this is the agenda. Who offered up recommendations for the DNC committee before the party platform is written at the convention next month. The recommendation reflect the influence of party progressives. You hear that? Party progressives. Keep telling you idiots, and this is why you guys never win. You got to go outside your party to reach the true progressive base, because your progressive base is not the true progressive base. You're only a tiny, minute segment of progressives in the Democratic Party. But you got some progressive Republicans, and there's a tiny, minute portion too. But most of them are independent. And most of them can't stand you, and they're not going to join the party. And the only reason they joined your party is because you were pushing that platform. Now, if you take that platform and wipe your butt and throw it in the toilet and flush it, guess where they're going to go? Elsewhere. The recommendation reflected the influence of party progressives who failed to get Sanders, a Democratic Socialist Vermont, the nomination, but who represents the energy and quite possibly the future of the party. So they're going to blame party progressives for the failing and dooming of Senator Sanders not becoming the nomination. Man, it's all kind of crap that got Sanders defeated. All kind of crap. The Democratic Party and the coalition of the Democratic Party under Barack Obama, the whole 9 yards, and his power to get out of here. The rigging and cheating still, it kept going on. And of course, Bernie Sanders is not going to deal with it. All right. So we're going to start into this video, and let's listen to what Bernie has to say.
Senator, I know today there were these sort of working groups, policy committees that some folks from your presidential campaign staff had been engaged in with the Biden staff. They announced some of the results of that. I saw a poll today I thought was very interesting that showed, I think it was 87% of Sanders supporters supporting Joe Biden, only 4% supporting Trump. And basically the picture it painted, and this is across the various candidates who are in that very crowded primary field, was a very unified Democratic Party, a very unified electorate defeating Trump.
So they want you to believe that there's a unified Democratic Party. Why are they so focused on a unified Democratic Party? You don't win with a unified Democratic Party. You win when you go outside your base and reach out to people outside your party. That is how you win. Stop talking about this unified Democratic base. Now, let's look at this poll. Biden 87%. Trump. Let's go back to it.
Some of the results of that. I saw a poll today I thought was very interesting that showed, I think it was 87%.
All right, here he is. Here we are. New York Times, Siena College. They called over 3,870 registered voters. Registered. See, registered mean either you're going to register as a Democrat, registered as a Republican, or you're registered as an independent. But most people are not registering for jack. They just want to be registered voters. They don't want to be registered in a party. So you call 3,870 registered voters from 6/8 to 6/18, and you did this poll. Now, is that all voters? 87% supports Biden. 4% support Trump. Now, Chris Hayes give it away because we don't know whether they call Republicans, whether they call independents, or whether they call just Democrats. But according to where Chris Hayes is leading to, this was called to Democrats. Now, I can't prove it, but according to this, it's about a Democratic unified Democratic front. So if it's a unified Democratic front, then this poll was based on talking to registered Democrats.
Percent of Sanders supporters supporting Joe Biden, only 4% supporting Trump. And basically the picture it painted, and this is across the various candidates who are in that very crowded primary field, was a very unified Democratic Party, a very unified.
The Democratic Party is supposed to be unified. The Republican Party is supposed to be unified. The reason you guys never win one over the other, he who goes out the party and wins new voters, student voters, he who can get independents to buy into their vision for America. I say in this election, he who can cut the check for black people will win. Let me tell you something. If Trump mess around and do something un-Trumpish and say, I'm going to support, I'm going to change my ways, and I'm going to turn a new leaf, I've gone the wrong direction with how I handle this thing. From this day forward, I'm letting black people know I'm going to support them. Whether you give me the vote or not, doesn't matter, but you do deserve reparations. It's time that we deal with that sin, You do deserve just as much as any other, just as much as the white people who helped develop this country with your help, with your partnership. I'm going to work your black agenda, what you need. I'm going to make sure you got everything you need. You need reparations. You need this, you need that. I'm going to do whatever I can to give it to you. You don't think black people are going to tell Joe Biden to kiss his behind and they're not going to vote for Trump? I know you believe that no black man will ever vote for Trump. I say no black man should ever vote for Trump or Biden because both of them are pathological, lying, bigot, racist with rape allegation. And the only thing that's going to give them the edge is what you got on my 40 homie, shades of Debo. What you got on our black people 40? You owe us, man. Pay up. If you say you're going to pay up, you get my vote. Because that is more important than trying to get Joe Biden in the White House or trying to keep Trump out of the White House. This election is not a referendum on Donald Trump, whether you like it or not. For black people, it's a reparation on survival when it comes to the black dollar and the white dollar. And right now it's too far of a gap, and we got to get that thing closed or it's going to go down to pretty much zero, and we won't have no power to do anything, especially when we got all kind of people coming in this country out of the blue that's getting more prominence than we who've been here since the foundation of this country. Let me get back on this.
Electorate and defeating Trump. Is that your sense of where things are right now?
Absolutely. Look, I think every person who voted for me, and I think for the other Democratic candidates, fully understands that Donald Trump is the most dangerous president, if not in the modern history of our country, then in the overall history of our country.
Now, Bernie Sanders, here's my problem with you saying that. Let's say that's true. He may be the most dangerous president in modern history. You and Joe Biden developed the crime bill, one of the biggest pieces of racist legislation in U.S. history. It allowed a new Jim Crow system to replace the old Jim Crow system. And it allowed over-incarceration, which pretty much brought in the new plantation, the 21st century plantation known as private prisons. So for you to say that is a spit in the face to black people because, yeah, here, and let me get this. Let me let you guys know something. All right, so Donald Trump is the most dangerous president in modern history. Okay. There's one thing I can say about Trump. With his racist mindset and with his racist, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Stephen something. Not Steve Bannon, but the other one. The guy who developed his policies. Here's one thing I got to tell you. Trump ain't got the political savvy to get 100% Democrats, or at least 75% of Democrats and Republicans on his side. That's why Trump have to do an executive order on just about everything, because the only way he's going to get 100% of his policies that is he have to have a unified House, Senate, and the presidency. Now, he had that the first 2 years, and he still couldn't get everything he wanted done. Still couldn't, because some of those Republicans wasn't buying into Donald Trump. Now, Joe Biden, on the other hand, Joe Biden got a long relationship with most of those people on Capitol Hill. Long, friendly, chummy pal, cocktail, hors d'oeuvres, long relationship with these people, Republican and Democrats. Joe Biden is a friend, Republican, Democrat. Now, he's probably a godfather to some Republican children because he's old Uncle Joe. See, it's not the lion that I'm weary of, because I know not to get in front of a lion. I know not to get in front of an animal that I know can kill. But it's those snakes that you don't even see in the grass, and you walking down the path, and all of a sudden you get hit by one of them. Those are suckers that I'm worried about. I'm worried about those freaking rattlesnakes. I'm not worried about these hyenas. I know not to go around them. But see, I'm from Florida, and we oftentimes walk through the trails, and we oftentimes swim in the lakes and stuff like that, and you never see these water moccasins, or these rattlesnakes come, and they just come out of nowhere and bite you. That's what we got with Joe Biden. See, Joe Biden has that relationship that if he is president, and if he want to, let's say he changed, and he have a change of heart, and being Barack Obama's VP made him love black people. Before that, called us predators. Now, let me go back to this. Trump wished in his wildest dreams he can have the relationship with the House and Senate and with Republicans and Democrats that Joe Biden have. See, Trump is loathed by some Republicans and most Democrats, except the wealthy one who he oftentimes helps them keep money in their pocket. Trump is loathed. It's going to be hard for him to still get stuff done, even if he got a second term. I'm not telling you he should deserve a second term. Neither one of these fools should deserve to be in office. But let's call a spade as a spade. Trump ain't got that camaraderie, that relationship, that chummy chum, that buddy, that good old club relationship that Joe Biden has with Republican Democrats. Joe Biden, as a legislator, drafted one of the most racist policies in U.S. history, the crime bill. He also helped push one of the most racist policies in U.S. history that assisted the crime bill in getting its job done, and that was the drug war. And he got not only Republicans, most of the Republicans, he made Republicans feel bad, saying they not tough enough and they weak and they punks and ain't got the guts to go up against crime, and they ain't got guts to be tough on crime. Joe Biden said this. Joe Biden stood on the Senate floor and said, look, I crafted a new policy that added 58 more crimes that can get you executed. 58 more crime that can get you the death penalty. I got the video. You seen the video. Don't start that. You seen the video. What you gonna say? The man said it out of his own mouth. Joe Biden did that. And not only did he get the Republicans to back him up, he got the Democrats to back him up, and more importantly, he got black legislators, people from the CBC to back him up. Now, you don't tell me who's more dangerous. Both of them dangerous, but you don't tell me who more. Trump is a dumb dangerous. Joe is a smart, sneaky, slimy dangerous. Both of them dangerous. But boy, I'm sure scared of that smart, sneaky, slimy one. Let's keep going. I'm sitting up here waiting for my Postmates, man. The guy said he was still making it. I'm hungry.
And that it is absolutely imperative that we come together and defeat them badly.
It's absolutely imperative that we come together and defeat them badly. How you going to what are you doing, Bernie Sanders? What are your policies that you got Joe Biden to bend the knee on to make sure that he beat Trump and beat him badly? Because right now, Trump is beating himself. Joe Biden ain't beating Trump. Joe Biden can't even beat a drum. Trump is going full liar in the bathroom, beating himself up because he don't know what the heck he's doing when it comes to a crisis. He's beating himself. But you're going to mess around and something's going to happen and we got plenty of time. He could make a comeback. What are the policies that you said, Joe Biden? I got over 10 million followers. They want this. All 10 million said if you do not implement Medicare for all, if you do not implement no-cost education, if you do not implement a new jobs program, a new housing program, a robust housing program, if you don't implement these things, they saying they're not going to vote for you. Matter of fact, all of them signed a petition saying if you don't implement these three things, you can forget about their 10 million votes. You realize 10 million people left the Democratic Party after shenanigans at the DNC convention in 2016. But no, Biden and Bernie wants to get together and assume that they're going to get the progressive vote. Boy, they're going to be sadly mistaken.
I was glad to work with the vice president in forming 6 separate task forces, which had some of the most knowledgeable people in the country coming together to deal.
All right, so we got 6 task force, 6 some of the most knowledgeable people coming together. You had the same thing at the DNC convention, bruh. And look where they got you. Look where they got you. Hillary Clinton wiped her behind with that policy. And that's why those people didn't come out and vote for her. She thumbed their nose in your face, and Joe Biden's going to do the same thing. Well, Joe Biden's not going to do that to me because that's my good friend.
With education and climate change and healthcare and the economy and criminal justice and immigration reform.
But wait, the newspaper report said he did not support no-cost education. He did not support Medicare for all. He did not support none of that, Bernie Sanders. Like Hillary Clinton, he got his own plan, phooey on your plan, and phooey on what they want. Phooey on what they want and phooey on your policies. We're going to do it my way and make it look like we're doing it your way. That ain't going to work, bruh. That ain't going to work.
And these folks, needless to say, people who represented the progressive movement had a different perspective on things than did Biden's people. But there was serious discussion and I think a real honest effort to come up with a compromise. And I think the compromise that they came up with, if implemented, will make Biden the most progressive president since FDR.
All right, so he said they came up with a compromise, and the compromise will make Biden the most progressive since FDR. Not with what I just read, bruh. Not with what I just read. There is no compromising. See, the thing about it, Bernie Sanders, you're trying to compromise from the left. You're not compromising. You're compromising from the center. You got the left compromising Democrat, compromising with the center Democrat, and you guys are nowhere near where most people are. You don't compromise on that. You compromise by putting the political feet or knee, shout out to rest in peace, George Floyd. You need to put the knee on the Democratic Party, on the centered, on the centrist. You need to put the knee by letting them know that you got the people on your side, and the people saying we want Medicare for all, we want no-cost education, we want a robust housing program, we got enough money to get every homeless person off the street. We tired of this mess. We're tired. No more game plan. This is what the people want. It's not what your platform want. It's not what your party want. It's what the people want. And the people will back you up. But because you punked out, and because she was not a real revolutionist, you end up negotiating and compromising from within the Democratic Party. You needed to go outside the Democratic Party and show your strength and power and force the Democratic Party and the Republican Party to go with where the masses are going, because the masses want Medicare for all, Republican and Democrats. The masses, Republican and Democrat, want no-cost education. The masses, Republican and Democrat, believe in a new housing program. The masses. And how in the hell you think you're going to win an election? It's by catering to the masses, not catering to your party. Let's keep hearing what he got to say. We almost done.
Did not have, needless to say, everything that I wanted, didn't have everything that Biden wanted, but there is no question that on some of the major issues.
Is it about what you want, Bernie Sanders? Is it about what Biden want? Is it about you two? Or is it about the American public? The American public has already spoken. Every freaking poll say we want to go beyond the Affordable Care Act because it still leaves so many people without insurance. We want to, even if you have to take a little bit out of our taxes, we want to make sure every American, just like in every modern civilized nation, we want to make sure everybody be able to have access to health care, especially in this COVID crisis. We want to make sure our kids can go to any public school they want, as long as they got the grades. But I don't want to go in debt for it. I don't want to get in debt trying to stay healthy. I don't want to get in debt trying. You realize the reason a lot of people are homeless and a lot of people are going through a lot of struggles is because of huge debts they accumulated trying to live a better life. When most modern countries offer that to their citizens, here we in America, we got to profit off everything. Hell, we're trying to profit off Remdesivir, a drug that's given to people when they're almost halfway dead in a hospital, when there's cheap treatments once you're diagnosed. But you'd rather talk about Remdesivir and a vaccine than getting people treated early. So again, you're negotiating from within the party when you need to be negotiating outside the party in the party. Because again, America has spoken. The polls said most people want Medicare for all. Most people want no-cost education. Most people want a robust housing program. Most people want to see that homeless housed. And most people, Republican, Democrats, want that. And until you stay in your position, which was your position, you stay in your position and you force Biden to submit to that, Biden can't guarantee he's going to get all those people votes. Sure, he's kicking butt in the polls, and sure, Trump is beating himself, and sure, as long as he stay in the basement, Biden look like he can win. But at the end of the day, some people are not scared of another Trump 4 years. They're just not. And when you get a lot of people that care more about tangibles, whether it's for blacks or whether it's for most Americans, you're going to end up putting yourself in a position where you're going to lose voters than get them. So how you, Bernie Sanders, with you and what Joe Compromise and your Unity Commission came up with, how is that going to get people to vote for you? The way you get people to come out to the polls enthusiastically instead of out of fear is give the people what they've been deserving and giving the people what they want. At least make policies or sign off on policies that's going to do that. Now, let's keep going.
Facing this country. If that agenda is implemented, life will improve for tens and tens of millions of working people. It'll improve for our environment and for climate change, criminal justice, and for the needs of low-income people.
Now, you got to tell me, how will that improve? Now, I know Medicare for All will drastically improve the lives of all Americans. Number one, I don't have to worry about a bill. I don't have to worry about getting debt. I got an uncle that dealing with cancer. And to pay for the medical bills, they had to put the house up for a third mortgage. A third mortgage. And if he die, the family won't be able to keep the house. You got people afraid to get married because they got to pay that student loan off. And you making compromises. Come on, B. Bernie Sanders? BS? Because that's exactly what this is. BS.
Senator Bernie Sanders there in Burlington, Vermont. Great pleasure to have you tonight. Thank you very much.
Now, in closing, I like what Bernie Sanders stands for. My only issue with Bernie Sanders is him and this reparation thing, and man, that is a big issue. Because his people got reparation. He don't want to even talk about it. He want to talk about some 10, 20, 30, 40 plan, all that kind of crap. We need to do another study. You have 400 years to study, man. Stop. You didn't study about giving these corporations money when it came to the COVID crisis. Where was the study for that? Give us our money. Give us what we deserve. Stop making excuses. Then him signing on for the crime bill. I mean, but his stance for working people and his policies to better unions and give unions more leverage and things like that, I'm all for that. Like I said, most of the people who supported Bernie Sanders didn't support Bernie Sanders. They supported that platform. And whoever carries that platform, they go with it. Even if they go to a Green Party, even if they go to a Rent Too Damn High Party, whatever party they go to, if they carry that platform, those people going to go with that platform. So instead of you trying to argue them down, tell them forget the platform, why don't you implement the platform so you can get those people on your side? How the hell are you going to tell me I need to stop having hopes? You know, you shouldn't hope so much. Your expectation too high. You know, you got a purity test. Bro, if you don't get out of my face, this ain't no purity test. Other major countries are doing that. We sitting up here sending $10 billion to Israel every freaking month, and they got health care. They got no-cost education. Yet we're sending them our tax dollars. Our tax dollars, giving it to Israel. And we can't do that for our people. And you got to tell us, vote Joe, because Joe going to give you a watered-down version of my platform. Bro, we don't want no watered-down version. We want that platform. People want $15 minimum wage. People want that. This is non-negotiable for most people. I'm telling you right now, you and Joe Biden going to end up losing a lot of support because you would not continue to push that. You're punked out. Like I said, you need to take that yellow paint that they use in the road to say Black Lives Matter and put it on your backs because you're trying to make people come to your wishes versus you coming to the people wishes. You guys gonna learn, man. We the one put you in the office, and when we make a demand, we expect you to give us what we demand. That's why we put you there for. We're not monkeying around, and you're not gonna keep scaring us with the fear of this, also you cannot do no work over here. Bro, you gonna work. I don't care what you throw in my face. You gonna work. So like I said, get your behind out there, man. Scrap that little plan that you got. Oh, we come to a conclusion. We're come to agreement. Who is we? It ain't me. Who is we? I seen that weak platform. It's weak. It's so watered down I could put Kool-Aid sugar in it and drink it. That's how weak it is. It's watered down too much. And see, most people in 2016 and 2020, we was looking for a real revolutionist, a Malcolm X type, by any means necessary. That's what we're looking for. When we're looking for a revolutionist, and when we're talking about a political revolution, that's what we're looking at. Somebody like a Malcolm X, by any means necessary. I'll die for this. See, Malcolm X rejected. He didn't really rejected it. They kind of threw him out. But even after Malcolm X pretty much got kicked out of the Nation of Islam, he still showed his love and support for Elijah Muhammad. He still credit Elijah Muhammad for something, but he know he needed to go another direction. He's seen how hypocritical Elijah Muhammad was, and it kind of killed his courage in serving Elijah Muhammad, but he tried his best not to paint ill toward the man. And I understand you're trying to do that about Joe Biden, Bernie. But let me tell you something. Malcolm X decided, okay, I'm out of this thing. They kicked me out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start a Black Nationalist Party. And he was about his. He was about his to the point that he was willing to lay his life down for it. And it was laid down for it. They shot him for it. That's a revolutionist. Not this punk mammy-pammy where, well, I'm just going to give it up and I'm just going to surrender to Joe and I'm going to help Joe win. That's not a, man, get out of here with that mess, man. Hey, boy. Yeah, everybody want to be a revolutionist. Everybody want to be a soldier. Everybody want to be ride or die. Thought that was Bernie Sanders, man. And I know some of you people don't like me because I'm dumping on your boy. Hey, man, I mean... it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You got over 10 million people. You had over 1 million volunteers just in your organization. You had young kids that's not even able to vote willing to go work for you. That's what you call an army. And you couldn't even be the leader that they need. An uncompromising, no surrender, no give up leader that they need. See, most Americans don't support parties. Most Americans could give a crap about your party and your party belief. We care about America growing, prospering. And that's where your parties have to come up to that. Your party have to come up to the cares of Americans. The Americans don't come up to the cares of the party. Y'all got to change that, man. You really do. Other than that, 2020 is going to look like 2016 all over again, and you're going to be sitting in the arena, bawling and crying like the little bitches that you are.